Once upon a time, in a distant village, there lived a young woman named Amoke. She was exceptionally beautiful, and every man in the village admired her and longed to win her heart. Despite receiving numerous proposals, Amoke rejected all of them, choosing to remain unattached. Amoke had three close friends, Asaki, Abike, and Ashobi. They were always together, but among them, Abike secretly harbored jealousy toward Amoke. Unlike Amoke, Abike was promiscuous, often engaging in affairs with married men in the village, which led to frequent confrontations with angry wives. The mothers of the other friends often warned their daughters to avoid Abike because of her behavior, but they paid no heed. One day, as the four friends were walking through the village, the royal prince saw them. Captivated by Amoke's beauty, he immediately took an interest in her. The prince stopped them and discreetly called Abike aside, asking her to convey his feelings to Amoke. However, Abike, consumed by jealousy and disappointment, believing the prince wanted her instead, lied to him. She told the prince that Amoke was already engaged to a man from a neighboring village. Heartbroken, the prince accepted this as the truth. When Abike returned to her friends, she lied again, claiming that the prince had asked her out. Her friends were genuinely happy for her, unaware of her deceit. The following day, the prince encountered Amoke at the stream. He approached her and confessed his love. Amoke, however, was angry and accused him of trying to create conflict between her and her friends, referencing what Abike had told them. Shocked, the prince explained the truth. He had asked Abike to help him approach Amoke, but Abike had lied to him. Amoke was stunned but refused to believe the prince, choosing to trust her friend. She left the prince at the stream, confused and hurt. Later, Amoke confronted her friends and shared what the prince had told her. All eyes turned to Abike, who claimed she was only joking about her earlier statements. Inside, however, she burned with anger and jealousy. Despite Abike's interference, Amoke and the prince eventually began a relationship. Their love blossomed, and the entire village celebrated their union, except for Abike, who hid her jealousy behind a mask of feigned happiness. One day, the chief priest visited the palace to announce the upcoming Beads festival. He revealed that this year's festival would be unique. The deity would choose a wife for the prince. According to tradition, the maiden who received the sacred beads from the deity would be the chosen one. Excitement spread throughout the village, and all the maidens eagerly awaited the festival. Amoke's friends were thrilled, convinced that she would be the chosen one. Abike, however, secretly seethed with jealousy but pretended to share their excitement. On the day of the festival, the palace was filled with music, dancing, and joyous villagers. Amoke and the prince exchanged loving glances from across the crowd, which only fueled Abike's resentment. Feigning illness, Abike whispered to Amoke that she needed her help and led her outside the palace. Trusting her friend, Amoke followed. As they stepped outside, the beads deity appeared before them. Both women were terrified, but the deity handed the sacred beads to Amoke, declaring her the chosen one. Overwhelmed with joy, Amoke accepted the beads, unaware of the storm brewing in Abike's heart. Enraged, Abike grabbed a heavy stick and struck Amoke on the head, leaving her unconscious and bleeding. She then took the beads and returned to the palace, presenting them to the king. The king verified the authenticity of the beads, and the chief priest proclaimed Abike as the chosen one. The prince was devastated, unable to reconcile the situation. Meanwhile, some villagers found Amoke lying injured and rushed her to safety. The next day, rumors spread about the events of the festival. When Asoki and Ashabi asked Abike about Amoke's whereabouts, she lied again, claiming that Amoke had left the village in anger and vowed never to return. Saddened, they informed Amoke's parents, who were heartbroken by the news. At the palace, the prince, still mourning Amoke's absence, sent a guard to investigate. The guard learned the truth from Amoke's parents and relayed it to the prince, who was overcome with grief. On the day of Abike's coronation as the future queen, the palace was filled with villagers. Just as the prince was about to place the royal necklace on Abike's neck, he refused, declaring angrily, "You are not my wife." Everyone was shocked. Abike, desperate, shouted, "But I am the chosen one. Amoke is gone." At that moment, Amoke walked into the palace, stunning everyone. Her parents ran to embrace her, while Abike, terrified, screamed, "Ghost! Ghost!" Amoke calmly replied, "I am no ghost. You thought you had killed me, but Olojame saved me through this kind couple." She pointed to the villagers who had rescued her and revealed the truth about what had happened. The crowd erupted in anger, condemning Abike. The prince, overjoyed, embraced Amoke. The king declared Abike a traitor and banished her from the village forever. Guards escorted her out as she wept and begged for forgiveness. The couple who saved Amoke were richly rewarded by the king. Amoke and the prince were officially engaged, and their love story became the talk of the village. Amoke and the prince lived happily ever after, with her loyal friends Asaki and Ashabi by her side.